Hi, I'm the Recruiting Maven and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic of conversation is how AI changes the way we apply to jobs. With that said, I just want to say a quick thank you for those of you who like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I deeply appreciate your kind support. For those of you who are new to my channel, please consider subscribing right now. And I do have an ever-growing playlist with career tips and advice, so make sure you check that out. On this channel, we have ongoing conversations about the fourth industrial revolution and what that is going to mean to your career over the short and long term. A quick overview of our discussion today. 2 points I'll be making. First encompasses AI, and the second point is covering the benefits of AI with regards to your candidacy. And if you stick around till the end, I will provide you with an additional insight, which is significant in your candidacy, so stay tuned for that. So let's be honest, the application process can be quite mundane and time consuming. I know as a contractor, I've spent sometimes well over 35 minutes to 45 minutes just applying to one job. But the truth of the matter is this is a crucial part in getting yourself hired. Filling out your forms accurately is paramount as it does affect the AI in the following manner. Initially, the AI will ask if you are in need of any assistance in applying for a particular job. And I do have, by the way, a detailed outline with examples and everything that I did a video recently, and I will post this up here for you to see. But this is not that video. We're not going to do a deep dive on that. Once you have actually finished applying, what the AI will do is give you options not only to other job opportunities within the company based on certain criteria like your educational background, your background experience, as well as your skill set. If in fact you do qualify for the position that you apply to, what the AI will do is we'll start to move you through the process. And what that entails is a phone screen, so it could be pre-recorded, it could be a video interview, it kind of varies. And I think the variation comes in depending on the position that you're actually applying to. But the bigger point in the discussion is that you're not just applying to that position, because all the data that you're actually inputting into that company's system or their database is going to be crucial, because that information is going to stay with the company forever, essentially. So in addition, this portion of filling out that profile with all your information and making sure it's accurate is because when I actually get a requisition, a brand new requisition, what I will do from the recruiter standpoint, and most, if not all recruiters do this, we go back into our database and we request who is relevant to this position based on skill set, education, and background experience. So that is why filling out that particular profile on a company page is going to be paramount, and that accuracy is, just really crucial. And just as a sidebar, and actually not even less important than what I've discussed already with you, but please make sure you're filling out your personal information correctly. Sometimes you get systems that will just upload your resume information. Other ones will do that and ask you to confirm. So please make sure you're confirming all those points, because if you don't, I've literally had to walk away from candidates that either had a bad email or a phone number or both. And then guess what? I can't get a hold of you. And then you think, well, now, nobody's getting a hold of me. What has happened? And you're just feeling you're in a free fall, especially when you really need a job. And we're in a tight job market as it is in 2020. And so please make sure that's not actually something to easily overlook. Make sure that your resume is up to date as well, because when those systems upload your information, some of them will ask you to confirm the information and some won't. And so again, accuracy is paramount in you being successful in getting hired. Okay, so moving on to the second portion of our conversation, and that is the benefits of AI in your candidacy. Now, the two items we're going to be discussing is speed and transparency. And you might think, what does that got to do with anything? But one of the biggest issues that I get, really one of the biggest complaints, let's be honest, is when candidates will say, look, I haven't heard from anybody in the company other than once you apply, you get that sort of, hey, thanks for applying, you're swell. Well, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And what AI does is it'll quickly, as I mentioned before, will quickly move you through the process. So if you do apply, and you do qualify, it'll start to engage you. And so you have that quick response of like, oh, the company's actually interested in me. And you have the option of doing the phone screen that moment or not, maybe rescheduling at a later date if it's not convenient for you, but there's a lot of flexibility with AI in that instance. And if you absolutely do not qualify, it'll let you know. Trust me, it'll let you know immediately that you're not qualified. And one of the things I'm starting to see, because I've been training with various AI companies that actually deploy these types of tools for larger companies, is that, well, I should say all companies that are using these tools. So one of the great benefits of knowing that you're not qualified for the position is that, and I'm seeing more and more, a lot of these companies that actually provide the AI function for the applicant tracking systems for the companies that actually purchase these, is that they're really making an effort to also tell you why you didn't qualify. And I know that's sort of a huge issue with a lot of my candidates. Yes, okay, I didn't qualify even though I think I do, but I don't know how I didn't qualify. And to be honest with you, a lot of companies don't want to tell you those things is because they don't want to get sued, because you can take the stance day in and day out and just dig your feet into the ground and say, I am qualified for the position. But what you don't know is a lot of things that go on in the business that they don't convey that to you. And the reason why they don't convey that to you is because that's private information. You're not going to tell everybody who you meet what your finances are, your standing financially. So why would a company tell you everything about them that's going on with their business at that level? Maybe if you're at a third interview, you're discussing with that hiring manager some very specific needs or pain points in that company. But at the application point that you're getting rejected, you're not going to get that additional information. And that's just the reality of it. So for those of you who really take it personally, and I've had a lot of candidates that have taken it to that point, I'd say, look, don't just apply to one job, apply to multiple jobs on a continuous basis, because not everything is included in that job description, okay? So with that said, let's move on. Which leads me to our second point, which is transparency. And transparency says, look, you either are qualified or you're not qualified. We're gonna move you immediately to that phone screen portion of the hiring process, or we're not. And so that transparency and that understanding from you as a candidate, what is going on. That company is interacting with you on a positive level, on a very transparent level, eliminating those biases that could be easily pointed to, shall we say. So again, it helps you to understand that process a little bit better. It makes you feel that that interaction is actually a viable and valid one, that you're actually getting what you need as a candidate and it's not just all one-sided. And so that level of fairness, I think, becomes a little bit more equal. So whether or not companies actually start to use that portion of AI who's very intelligent and is going to be able to send you out the reasons why you did not get the job or why you're not qualified, because it's twofold, right? You could have that initial application where you really aren't qualified for the position, and then further down in the process, you may get disqualified. So it's important to really know, what is it? Do I need to improve a certain skill set? Or maybe I don't have that particular experience. So, you can remedy that next time around. So that next time you're better prepared and you have a better understanding of what the company is looking for. My last point is my bonus tip to you. And actually this is really, really important, because what AI cannot do is measure or be able to adjust for cultural fit at a point of application. It doesn't know how to do that. It's intelligent, but it's not at a human level of intelligence. So being clear what AI can do and cannot do is also important. So cultural fit really points to what the business needs right now from you and what the team needs, and is it just a really good fit all around. I've had software engineering teams that will say, we have 5 guys that can do this, do it well, but we really need one guy that can do X, that nobody has that skill. And we're happy to take this candidate and merge them with our existing team. We will train that person, whatever language, whatever situation may be on that team, we're happy to cross-train them, but we just really don't have the skill. So transferable skills in this instance is very crucial, and from the recruitment standpoint, it's also up to the talent advisor, that recruiter, to understand what your skill sets are. So maybe after your phone screen with that AI, the recruiter will typically reach out to you and start to ask you further questions to then further vet what your skill sets are. Are you a cultural fit for that team? But it really boils down to an ongoing conversation, or those interview sessions where that's going to really come to light, where it's really going to be discussed. And really, you should ask a lot of questions at that point in time about the team, what their real needs are there any pain points, and of course, be eloquent, be kind, and try not to interrogate your future or your possible future employer. You know, it's about getting to know each other. When you go on a date, you're not asking for that person's, dating history, or have they been married, or how many children they have. You slowly get to know them. And so for higher level positions, that's going to take several interviews. So you have the time and the opportunity to get to know them on a slower basis, like dating. With that said, any additional videos that I may have that are relevant to this discussion, I will certainly put them up here for you to find and reference. I do timestamp all my videos so that if you want to take notes, I know that I do that with other videos that are instructional or coaching type videos, and I copy and paste them to a Word doc, and I actually take notes. It makes my life a lot easier. So if that's of any help to you, or is that a positive thing, then I'd say go ahead and do it. With that said, we do have ongoing conversations with regards to the fourth industrial revolution and what that's going to mean to your career over the short and long term. So make sure you check those out. Make sure you're being prepared and you really understand what the fourth industrial revolution is and what it's not. So with that said, I just want to say a quick thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that right now. And I will see you in my next video. Take care and have a lovely rest of your day.